Okay, everybody, what we're going to do here is we're going to make some coq au vin. Coq au vin is basically chicken in wine. And what we're going to do is start off with a couple of tablespoons of butter and about 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Okay, now this is, the way that you make this is really similar to how I made the beef bourguignon. So we're going to go ahead and get started with that. And again, we got some lovely bacon that we're going to be adding to this. So I'm going to let this butter melt some, and then we're going to be adding our bacon. We'll be right back. Okay, back to making our coq au vin. I've got the bacon, so I'm going to go ahead and put it in our pan. Break it up some. Let it get cooking in the olive oil and butter. Okay, and we're back, and I think that is crispy enough. So we'll go ahead and strain that and put it into a separate dish. Now what I'm going to do is I am going to add in my chicken, and what I'm using is a Smart Chicken. Well, that's the brand. And like I said, I'm using thighs. So I'm going to go ahead and put them in top side down first. Now they're boneless and skinless. You could use, with the skin or even with the bone in. It's just that I saw these and they were great, and there was 6 of them, which means, because they are kind of small, I got leftovers for my husband to take to work the next day. So what we're going to do is just let those cook and kind of brown for a couple of minutes, about 5 to 8 minutes, sometimes 10, depends, on each side. And then we're going to remove this, and then comes our carrots and our onions. So we'll go ahead and let this cook for a little while and brown. While I got them in here, I'm going to go ahead and salt and pepper. Okay, as you can see, I flipped them over, but they're getting nicely browned. I'm going to give them a few more minutes on the other side because we're going to simmer this also. So, don't worry about it not being completely done. We're just looking for a little bit of browning. Okay, and I'm going to remove these, and then we're going to add in our vegetables and our seasoning. Okay, here I have 3 bay leaves. I'm going to set off to the side because I'm going to do that on top. This is getting dangerous. It's hot. I've got some fresh parsley, a tablespoon of thyme, 2 tablespoons of garlic powder this time, some chopped onions, they're not minced, and some carrots that I did on the bias. So, cut on the bias. So we're going to get that going. Oh, the smell. It is amazing. We're going to let that cook, saute for about 5 to 10 minutes. And we'll be back. Okay, we're back. I'm going to go ahead and add in some button mushrooms. And then I'm going to add, again, some pearl onions. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and add in my pearl onions. Let this saute up another few minutes before I add any more ingredients. I'm going to go ahead, reintroduce the bacon. My goodness, this really smells amazing. Add in our wine. And it's a red wine, 1 cup of red wine. And then we're going to have 1 cup of chicken broth. Okay, and here we go, our 1 cup of chicken broth. See, so it's very, very similar to our beef bourguignon, except we're, instead of using beef broth, we're using a chicken broth. Okay, and like our beef bourguignon, this is very similar, but we're using chicken broth instead of beef broth. We're going to add a couple of tablespoons of flour. Just stir that around. My goodness, the wine and the broth and the vegetables and the seasonings. It's amazing. See, it's already becoming thick. So what I'm going to do at this point is go ahead and introduce our chicken back into the skillet. Try to get it a little bit covered. With the sauces. Take some of the juice and remember, we're going to cover this and allow it to simmer. So this is going to be like absolutely tasty, everyone. Okay. Oh, and I almost forgot. Here's our bay leaves. Put them on top where there's some liquid showing. And we'll cover that and let it simmer, let's say for about an hour for right now. Okay, we're going to go ahead and we're going to plate our Coq Au Vin. Like I said, I said before, those thighs, they're rather small. So what we'll do is we'll do 2. We'll get some of those vegetables and that yummy goodness poured over the top of them. Doesn't it look amazing?